I was contacted, by Kate from BENU, and she said, you've reviewed a number of our pens, and I said, yes, I have. And then she said, but you've never reviewed one of our exclusive pens. And I said, keep talking. And she said, well, here's a list, pick one, we'll send you one. So I selected this. It is a talisman, but it is their Capricorn, and this is hand painted. So I thought that was quite cute. So, sorry, these are a bit more expensive. In some cases, quite a bit more expensive, but they do have hand painting on it. So I thought that would indeed make for a fun review. A very kind thank you to BENU for sending me this pen, because again, these are more expensive. I actually did not really know they did hand-painted pens, so it's fun for me to check out. I will cover the parts of the pen, I will do a writing sample, and then I will tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Let's not waste any time. Let's get started. Okay, here we go with the BENU Capricorn. So it's in the Talisman series. I'll show you the box, and I'll show you the pen, and we'll talk a bit about the pen. I've said this many times, but I'll say it again. I love the BENU pen's packaging, because it's all recyclable. So if you don't want to keep it, you can just recycle everything. Even the sleeve, it's just cardboard. We have this sort of padding material, which is just paper, shredded paper. The lifetime warranty works very well. We have one standard international long cartridge, and then we have a very nice colorful information pamphlet on the Capricorn. Clearly these are pens devoted to the zodiac signs, and here's the pen. I will zoom in a bit so you can see it better. Here's a Pilot Metropolitan for size comparison. So I would say same length, but the BENU is definitely a bit girthier. So these pens are part of the Talisman collection, but they're the exclusive collection from BENU. I will show you the hand painting a little bit better in just a sec, but there you go. These come in fine, medium, broad, and fine, flex, and 1.1 to 1.5 millimeter stub nibs. Capricorn, as a sign, zodiac sign, stands for ambition and discipline and endurance. And the birthstone of Capricorn is a garnet, so they actually ground up garnet and put it in the pen. I think all of that is great. We have Saturn on it because that's the planet that's meant to be important if you're a Capricorn. I don't like astrology. It's not real, right? We know that it's not real. And BENU also says, like, you know, this is just like for fun. Like we don't expect that you buy this pen and you'll actually get better luck in life, because that's not how it works. But I like the theme they picked, and they went with it completely committed to it. So I really like that. The price of these is higher than what you pay for many other BENUs. It's $280. That is US. But then you do get a hand-painted pen, and as I'll talk about a little bit in the likes and dislikes section. Bear in mind, okay, that a lot of hand-painted pens are substantially more expensive. I remember a friend in the Netherlands who had one, and it was 20 grand. So I mean, it depends a bit on what you buy. What I'm trying to say is you are going to pay more because it's an artistic object. Okay, so what else? Let's go over the parts of this pen. On top there we have the finial, and it has that very nice multicolored material. And what I really like about that in the context of this Capricorn is that, to me, this looks like a star field. And as you can see, it's almost like the stars twinkle as you move it, and I think it's just a fantastic detail. That I'm not sure if that was their idea. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, because they think through their pens quite well, but I just love it. And on the cap, you see the same thing. Now the cap has facets on it. There are facets on the center band, a facet on the cap, and another facet there, slightly offset. I have talked about that when I reviewed the another talisman that I had. But really quite nice, I think, and also makes for easy uncapping because those facets are easy to grab hold of. Okay, then here in the center band we have BENU. Now I get the feeling, I couldn't find it online, but I get the feeling that it's hand painted in as well. But I mean, do correct me if I'm wrong. It certainly looks that way to me. It looks a bit more elevated than the usual BENU just because it's a more exclusive pen, right? And then here we have the Capricorn, right? They're just really cute animals, and I just like the way it looks. With its symbol, because they if I'm not mistaken, if I remember that correctly, like all these zodiac signs, they have a specific symbol, and this I think is Capricorn. We have Saturn, right, as the important planet, and then we have some more glittery bits. The barrel itself too is faceted. You have a facet here, and then there is kind of a ridge, and then there are further facets down there, slightly offset from these other facets. I don't know how well you can see that in the light being captured, but I think you can see it a little bit. There's that offset. Then we have the end of the pen, and completely at the end it's transparent, which I thought was quite nice too. The pen unscrews, cap unscrews. We have the number 6 Schmidt nib here in broad with a plastic feed, and then the pen is fed with a cartridge converter right there. Schmidt, nice large capacity. That's just a pleasant converter, works well. It's a nicely sized pen, I would say, size that works for a lot of people, and if you really want to, you can post it. Becomes a little bit top heavy because it sticks out quite far, but if you really want a very big pen, then you can post it that way. And that's pretty much it. Let's have a look at how it writes. I did not tear off my previous writing samples, sorry, and as you know with these videos, nothing is edited out, so here we are. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and we're going to write. Here we go with the Capricorn, it says Capricorn, but Capricorn, you know what I mean. Broad, and this is Iroshizuku Kon Peki. Very nice, smooth writer. Fast writing. Feed keeps up very well. I would say this is a wetter nib. The Iroshizuku ink is lubricated, but it's not like the feed is completely saturated right now. I think it's just a wetter writer, which is quite nice. That's how I like it. Line variation. Sometimes with broad nibs you get a slightly stub-like writing quality. This may have that a little bit. The side strokes seem a little bit narrower than the downstrokes. As always, very, very careful. It's not a flex nib. You can buy a flex nib, but as you can see, you can squeeze out a little bit of line variation. But again, very carefully so, because it's not meant to do that. Then why do you show it to us? Because otherwise people keep asking, and that's why. The same reason I'm doing reverse writing. I never do it, but some people do. So here you go, reverse writing. Does not become super scratchy, works quite well. You definitely take this broad to, I would say, a nice fine. So, very nice. I like it a lot. Let's discuss some likes and dislikes. Hey there! I was contacted, by Kate from BENU, and she said, you've reviewed a number of our pens, and I said, yes, I have. And then she said, but you've never reviewed one of our exclusive pens. And I said, keep talking. And she said, well, here's a list, pick one, we'll send you one. So I selected this. It is a talisman, but it is their Capricorn, and this is hand painted. So I thought that was quite cute. So, sorry, these are a bit more expensive. In some cases, quite a bit more expensive, but they do have hand painting on it. So I thought that would indeed make for a fun review. A very kind thank you to BENU for sending me this pen, because again, these are more expensive. I actually did not really know they did hand-painted pens, so it's fun for me to check out. I will cover the parts of the pen, I will do a writing sample, and then I will tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Let's not waste any time. Let's get started.